Good morning, students. Let us discuss the next part of the lesson, establishment of the British Empire in India. Okay, so in the previous class we have discussed about revolt in 1857. That was the first revolt against the Britishers in India. So how it spread, we'll discuss in this class. The revolt spreads. So no sooner did this call go out, so revolts against the English erupted in many places. So many came out and fought against the Britishers. So even sepoys went on a rampage in the cantonments at Aligarh, Manipuri, Bulandahar, and attack and Madura also. The Britishers were badly shaken. Their situation was indeed very delicate. So at the time, Britishers were having only 45,000 English officers and soldiers in India. So remaining all are Indian soldiers who are appointed in British Army. Okay, so all Indian soldiers agitated against the Britishers. Those are almost 2 lakh. So that's why the British soldiers feared that who will protect them and their property and their families. So that's why these British soldiers went back to protect their families instead of fighting with the Indian soldiers. So many English soldiers were held back to protect the English families. As a result, the revolt could not be suppressed immediately and it spread from place to place. So at the time, many royal families, so already who were overthrown by Britishers, joined with this revolt. Out of them, Nawab of Awadh and the Maratha Peshwa Naina Sahib, armies of rebels, sepoys and rulers from different corners of the country marched towards Delhi to establish our own rule. So on the way, people also were also helping them, hoping that the English would be driven away and the Mughal rule and the earlier political order would be resorted. So all the Indian people thought that definitely the British rule will be end. So at the time, Hyderabad was also not silent. So in Hyderabad also, on the leadership of Turbej Khan, revolted. So Turbej Khan was revolutionary who fought against the British in Hyderabad, stayed during the revolt of 1857. So he revolted with the support of Malvi Alauddin, mobilized 6,000 people and attacked the British residency. So present day Women's College was the British residency at the time. So he revolted at a time when the Nizam supported the British. So Nizam rule was there. However, the movement was suppressed and Turbej Khan was executed. So that was suppressed in Hyderabad also. Next, revolt in every village. So at the time of Sepoy revolt, so all people were revolted against that. So that was spread into village to village in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Peasant Jamindars took up arms together and had the English and their officers on the run. So they stopped paying taxes to the British government. They tore up railway stations, railway lines, burnt down police stations, courts, post and telegram offices, and uprooted the telegraph wires. So these are belongs to British government. So these all facilities were the new services that the English provided at the time in India. As a defeat started the English in their faces, the Indian people became more and more courageous in their fight against the British rule. So the rebels means who are fought against the Britishers looted the houses and burnt the documents of many money lenders. So before these people were suffered because of money lenders, that's why they burnt their houses and documents also. These money lenders had become very powerful in these villages with the help of English laws before. The revolt is suppressed. So in the beginning, our soldiers and other people revolted against the Britishers very harshly, but unfortunately that revolt was not converted as a freedom, but that revolt was revolted. Okay, slowly English government gained control over the situation. So how they managed this revolt, we'll discuss. So the rebels fought bravely. Of course, the Indian soldiers revolt very bravely, but there were two major weaknesses among them. There are two major weaknesses among them. What are those? In every town or region, different group of rebels fought separately against the English. So in different places, either in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, or in Hyderabad, in somewhere, different groups fought against the Britishers separately. They don't have any connection between these groups. They don't have any information between them. There is no unity between them. That is the weakness. They did not fought together. They don't have any information. There was no combined and well planned effort. So without any planning, they suddenly they revolted against the Britishers. So that English were able to tackle the rebels one by one in each area. Slowly they gained the control on one another places slowly. Okay. The rebels also faced a shortage of modern arms. So soldiers at the time, soldiers are having only olden guns, and they don't have a sufficient bullets, cartridges also. So the guns and cannons, cartridges and gunpowder they required were brought from outside India. Those are not available in India. So because of shortage of modern guns, cartridge and cannons, they are unable to continue their fight for longer period. So these people, consequently, the rebels had to fight with old guns, arrows, spears and swords. So they cannot continue their fight for longer time. Even then the spread with which the revolt spread frightened the English. So the Britishers suppressed this revolt very cruelly. Whenever they suppressed a rebel group, they killed the rebels in a most inhuman ways and hanged their bodies from trees in the villages, so that the village folk would understood the consequences of revolt. So to spread the fears in the rebel groups, so the rebels were killed in unhuman ways. Okay, they tied some rebels to the mouths of cannons and blew them to bites. It is very cruel. So what they did, they um, tied some rebels. Cannons means the which is blew the bombs. Okay, so they tied mouths of the cannons and blew. Then the bodies of the rebels become very small pieces. Many rebels went into hiding because of fear, moving from one place to avoid being caught by the English. Many of them even went to places like Nepal to hide. So the rebels means Indian soldiers and who fought against the Britishers, they went out of the country also to save their lives. The English deported Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar to a faraway location in Rangoon, and it was there that the last Mughal emperor died. So at the time of revolt, the Bahadur Shah became free. Again, the Britishers caught him and they sent him to another place. Finally, he was dead at that place only. The revolt of 1857 was the biggest revolt. So to challenge the might of the English. So if at the time, if you have a proper plan, if you have a communication system, so if you have a unity, so you might be achieved our goals. But because of there is no proper plan and communication and unity, so those were failed. So after suppressing it, the Britishers got hold over India, became stronger, and they ruled the country for the next 90 years. After 1857, again they ruled up to 1947, more than 90 years. Okay, next. So after the revolt, it took the English more than a year to suppress the revolt of 1857. So during this period, they changed many of their policies and adopted new ones. Why? Because they saw the discontent of the Indian people. Okay, so in 1858, immediate the year, Queen Victoria of England made an important declaration. So what is that? So she said Indian kings should rule their own kingdoms without annexity, without interference of the kingdom Britishers, because the English would not try to dethrone them. So to please the Indian people, so they introduced different reforms. Okay, what they did, so they had given a word to the kings, Indian kings, so they never interfere into their activities and they don't dethrone them. And another one is, in this way they established a close collaboration with the royal families of India. Similarly, the Jamindars too were given many concessions and were assured that their property would be protected. So at the time, royal families were also joined with the revolt. That's why to maintain relation with the royal families, so again some benefits given to royal families and Jamindars. The Pandits and Maulvis were assured that the British government would not interfere in matters relating to Indian religious and would let the old traditions continue. So there was also a promise that Indians would be included in the government. So the truth is that the English had seen their Indian empire being snatched away in 1857. Now they directed their efforts towards giving all kinds of concessions to the elite powerful Indians to conciliate them and ensure that they continue to support the English. So to get the support from them, so many benefits given to some royal families. So at the time of Hyderabad state, so As with other kingdoms of the time, Hyderabad too came under the influence of the English East India Company. So Hyderabad was ruled by Nizam under the crown of Britishers. So Britishers appointed a resident in Hyderabad. Resident means officer in Hyderabad. So he will look after the administration of the state. So the Nizam had to appoint as Prime Minister, means Chief Minister or Diwan, and the advice of the resident and with the approval of the British Governor General. So under the Governor General, the Nizam was appointed as the Prime Minister of Hyderabad. So they appointed Indian civil services for every department selected by the Britishers. So with the help of resident, with the help of civil service, Indian civil service officers, so the British controlled the Hyderabad. Okay. Next, Salar Jung. So at the time, Salar Jung was the Diwan of the Hyderabad. So he introduced many reforms and contributed to the economic development in Hyderabad state. So he divided the kingdoms into Shubhas and district after removing the old Deshmukhs. Deshmukhs means Doras. So after removing the Doras, so the Telangana area was, or Nizam area was divided into Shubhas and districts. Okay. He abolished the revenue farming system and instead of organized direct collection of revenue from the farmers by district officials. So previously those Deshmukhs were there or Jamindars were there in Telangana. So those were collected taxes. Now Salar Jung removed them and instead of collection taxes by Deshmukhs, they appointed officers to collect the taxes. So the judicial reforms also introduced here included the certain of Supreme Court, High Court and district courts also constructed. Separate civil and criminal courts were also established in our Telangana. To facilitate transport, so Salar Jung improved the railways and roads. So important railways are interconnected with other areas like Wadi, Madras and Sholapur and Bombay. So English medium schools also introduced in our area like Dar ul Ulam at Chadargat in 1855, City College, Deccan Engineering College in 1870 and Madarsa-i-Aliyah were also established. So these reforms helped Hyderabad to emerge as a modern state in line with the rest of the country. So like that, so Britishers were established their control in our country, and even Indian people always tried to protest them. Even they revolted against the Britishers to get their own rule. So unfortunately, the first revolt, 1857, was failed because of lack of nuance, lack of unity, lack of leaders who are guided them, and lack of communication. So that's why that revolt was failed. Okay, but that was helped coming generations to revolt against the Britishers. Okay, after that revolt also the Britishers were ruled our country more than 90 years. Finally we got independence under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. So many leaders came out. They formed the INA, Indian National Congress. Under the Indian National Congress we fought against the Britishers. Finally we got the independence in the year 1947. Now we established our democratic country. Okay. So with this lesson is completed. Write your own notes. Thank you.